I heard something many years ago from Bishop Abdul, and that has actually helped me a lot. He said, when you are in a place, see there, sir. Hello, sir. Can see the front. Okay. He said, when you are in a place, yes, make sure you are part of those people who are moving the place forward. Are we together? Abdul said that many years ago. He said, never be part of those who are pulling the system down. Always be part of those who are actually pushing it forward, upward. And for me, that has really helped for me. Let's quickly check your roadmap or vehicle to wealth. Let's quickly consider this because I feel that's something that we need to understand about life. Most of the time, what actually determines your wealth acquisition, or none of it, or the absence of it, is actually, it goes down a long way to your philosophy, to wealth, or to money. All right? There was a time that the church in Nigeria believed that poverty was the root of evil. And they didn't say the love of money, sorry. They said money was what? The root of evil. They didn't say the love of money. Thank God for other pastors who went deeper in interpreting that particular sentence and help us to understand that God was not against money itself, because money is also actually neutral. That what God was actually against was the love of what? Of money. Now we now find out that money is something we all make use of every day of our life. You can't even do without it. Your transportation to this place is money, or you fuel the car is money. So it's not something you want to even wait for anything. So your philosophy about money actually makes a whole lot of difference. Now when we talk about the roadmap, I'm talking about the guiding force behind your actions. Because your philosophy or your belief system is what are actually going to create your action, steps when it comes to the area of money. Some of us don't want to discuss the issue of money. Done the same way, even as parents, we don't want to discuss the issue of sex with our children. We avoid all these things, but at the end of the day, there are two important things that you can't even do without. It's just a matter of time. Are we together? So whether you shy away from it or not, if it comes to a man and a woman, when the time comes, it will still happen. No matter you try to shy away from it. I've asked the question in my meetings so many times, how many of you ever enjoy your parents calling you and your mother to discuss the issue of finance or investments? And they will be like, nothing like that. And of course, what we have found out is that we see our mothers or ladies generally being accused of liking money too much. And the reason we use some of these statements is because we don't also have enough of the money to share the way they want us to share the money. Together. So, if money is that vital to our existence, so it should be something we should be aggressive about to have a solution to it, or final solution to it. Are we together? So the roadmap or the vehicle to wealth makes up your financial belief systems and your preconceived convictions about money and wealth. You see that now? Your conviction about money and wealth. Now, if you are convinced that, oh, don't worry, one of these days money will just come, you probably just wait till the kingdom come. There are different vehicles of creating wealth. One of them that I don't even like giving my ear to is pension. Is it pension fund or insurance? Things like that. I don't tell them. I've told one of the actors, say, listen, this is for poor people. Go and meet them, not for people like us. Because I can't wait for that pension you are talking about. I can't be discussing pension now. when my mates are on the street and they are taking advantage of the new technology and all of that, creating wealth per second billings. Do you know every 1 minute, 1 millionaire is created around the world? I mean millionaire in dollars, because they don't even cut our own. If not, some of you are millionaire. But you know how close you are to zero. You have 1 million in the bank, that is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. If that is what makes you call yourself a millionaire, you are a joker of the century. You never even pay better tickets, flight tickets, or anywhere in the world. So your conviction about money, you need to work on that. You need to actually get that settled out. Very, very important. How do belief affect your finances? The reason is because your belief precedes what? Your choices, and your choices produce your action. This reason is so important for you to work on your belief system, your philosophy about wealth, and so that you can tackle it very well. Now, number one thing that we need to look for is, number one vehicle is the U factor. The number one vehicle we want to look at is the what? The U factor. That means yourself. You are the number one vehicle you need to work on, really. Because we found out from multi-millionaires, before money actually starts coming to your hands, it starts to be in your head first. If your mind cannot conceive it, you can never touch it, no matter what. You can win lottery, forget it, it disappear. We have even seen footballers who have made millions, sport people, and they are broke right now. Because they didn't work on what? On their mind when it comes to the issue of money. So the money just keep coming, they just keep spending, they just keep spending. We have had busters. Nobody ever made money like Mike Tyson. You made hundreds of millions of dollars. And even at that, you just retired. In a matter of 3 or 4 years, you're already down. I don't have the current status of Michael Jordan, but I remember there was a time a photo surfaced on the internet that was literally crying. I don't know if it was Photoshop, but I think they were trying to describe his state at that moment, because when the money was coming, he bought like a house that you call an estate. And you know some of those things, when you want to sell, nobody's willing to buy. Because you bought it for prestige when you bought it. Probably you did not even negotiate well when you bought it. And there's no, many billionaires, they are not interested in your private home. And because another one is that the environment that building would have been bought would be an environment that in your country is not business district. So anybody buying in, and almost every billionaire that can afford that particular estate already has his own estate, already living in his own palace. So he put it on the market, nobody was pricing. And they showed his face that he was crying. Like I said, probably it was Photoshop. They were actually trying to describe the agony. You need to cry. Like you are buyers in the Banana Island. If it's the business district, yeah, a lot of rich people will buy it because they can quickly split it. You know, it's not like Nigeria where you just do business anywhere. If they say this place residential, it's residential. Can't do anything there. So nobody was pricing. And probably that was the only thing he was having left. So some of these things, this training, you don't miss them because we know what we are giving to you here. It will build your life for a long time. So the U factor is so important if you want to be wealthy. I said this is because none can drive your vehicle towards success and wealth and affluence but you. So you can see it's not something you delegate. Are you with me? It's not something you delegate. We can be catcher at many people. We have even 419s who made money from 419. Those when we were small. The musicians in our state, they were using them to sing. They were the Yahoo boys of that time. But guess what? There are quite a number of them that are trekking. They don't even have Corolla. I'm driving right now. These are people that were using escort to travel home whenever they are going home. Because they didn't build a system that could be giving them that money. So number 2, vehicle or roadmap that you need to actually put in place to creating the wealth is definition of the choicest vehicle to engage with definition of the roadmap to engage with. You need to define it. All right, you need to define exactly which one, because we actually have too many. We have other routes, ma'am. You need to define it. Define the vehicle. You know, this is so important because when you are traveling, for example, traveling from here to Abuja, you know there are too many choices to make to which of the best roadmap to use or vehicle to use. All right. After all, somebody traveled from Lagos to Abuja when Buhari won an election 2015. How many of you still remember? That was a vehicle. He decided to choose the legacy best vehicle to Abuja. And that's exactly what a lot of us are doing today when it comes to the area of our finance. We land the job vehicle. That is one of it. Salary job. Now, there's nothing wrong with it because it's also an income-producing activity. But the trouble is that you are looking at the time it will take for you to create the work. And most of the time, since it's not always big enough for you to do all the things, you get to do it till your age is now a disadvantage for you. The nature of that we need to tackle because your brain is no longer functioning properly. And that's why in this election you have to also choose who you should give the job of Nigeria to, because they are vying for the jobs, and you know those who still have accuracy of their mind intact, and you know those who are not actually having that place intact. So the choice is now what? Is now yours. Are we together? So we have that, and we have the contract marriage vehicle. Yes, we have seen people that got married to rich people, and by that they now live in what? In affluence. The question is, we don't know how long that could be. We have seen even our brothers leave Nigeria to Europe to marry somebody who is like a grandmother, that in Nigeria they wouldn't have done that anyway. That is what? A vehicle to wealth. Whether it's good or not is leaving for him to define. Are we together? So I'm just trying to show to you different vehicles to wealth. We have also have small girls in Nigeria, less than 20, maybe 23, marrying a billionaire that's maybe above 60 or above 50. You see, that's a vehicle to wealth also. Like I said, whether that is the best, leave it for the person. He just wants to enjoy. He knows it's not the best. He has his own target. Probably want to enjoy for the meantime. Okay? So understand the different vehicles to wealth, and of course, the last one is the passive investment or building a business. So this is where we come in, where we encourage you here for investment and investment. Now, the reason this is not always very sweet for a whole lot of people, investment vehicle, or building a business. So this is another one. For so this now this one is not very interesting to a lot of people. You know, sorry, I forgot to tell you, we also have the Ponzi scheme. There's a kind of business we'll call now, we'll go and shout there, it's okay, just put, pardon? Okay, oh, thanks so much. Oh, we have a teacher in the house, thank you. Forgotten that that one is one of the teachers. Now we have a Ponzi scheme too. Just put $1,000, we assure you in 30 days that it becomes $10,000. Everybody troop into that. You get it now? Well, they want to do that. So when we say, okay, thank you, invest and wait. Oh, no. Tell me how much I'll be making if I put $1,000, how much I'll be making at the end of the month. Then they are interested in that. Now, many of them, they are aware that it will not last more than 3 months. They don't care. Are we together? They just want the money right now. So there's also that. But this is actually the most sure way or the most certain vehicle of building wealth. you truly want to build wealth. You must be investment conscious. This is very important because that's why you don't joke with opportunity we bring to you. We have the most robust ecosystem right now in the world when it comes to this digital space. And now your understanding of the business will also help your marketing. Thank you. Okay. It will also help your what? Your marketing. Now I met somebody in church Sunday, and of course we always sit down together every time in church. They live in Lekki. I think they were living in Porako. They just put them to Lekki. So most of the time she sits with me with the husband and all that. So but anyway, probably she was moved to ask me what I do for a living. Now, before now, maybe up through last year, what I would tell people, I do cryptocurrency. Then I just found out that it wasn't really a selling thing. So I was thinking of how to always let people know what I do. So in my meditation, so I came up with a way to introduce myself to people, which is more matured and give people opportunity for you to talk with them. So I told you, I invest into tech companies. What I do, I partner with tech companies. Is that exactly what we're doing?
Yeah.
Don't you think it's a better talk for the person to listen?
Yeah.
And do crypto? And the person has all the noise of crypto crashing. If we just zero, it will not put on. It will not help it. So this is even a more mature way. Especially when you want to be talking with a rich person. So what I do is that over the years I invest into tech companies. Like which one? Okay, you now talk about two-pound drones, for example. You see? That's a two-pound what? Cargo aircraft. The Zoom we had on Tuesday, I don't know how many of you attended. I remember I told people nobody should mention just Zenith again because that era is gone. Is Zenith there? No, it's still there. After all of this one, they are built on the Zenith smart chain. But you have to understand when you have a new product in the market. So when you ask me what I do, I said I am a partner with tech companies. Oh boy. I'm a partner with tech companies. You have to snap all your pictures. If you don't think man is too much with tech companies. And which one exactly? You can just easily learn what I want. Two-pound what? Cargo. Aircraft. Who would not want to invest into aircraft business? Tell me who would not want to invest into this? Because the only thing they know about crypto, if you don't mention crypto, is that some people somewhere know crypto token and be sharing link up pattern. And all the thing they know about it is multi-level. And you know basically what we do is not multi-level. We only share because we are like agents who probably bought a landed property in Beduleki because they are aware that there's a refinery that's been built there. It's going to be launched very soon, maybe some years ago. And now, the same agent, the Ibale, told the same person that now you just bought, why don't you call your friends to come and buy from here? By doing that, we give you 2 plots extra, or we give you some percentage. Won't that agent be on the street and be conversing? Now let me tell you, we have a practical example of somebody who became a billionaire through that process in Nigeria. You know, God bless you. And the man now runs the biggest airline in Nigeria. That is the CEO of what? Of Airpeace. If you meet a person like Airpeace now, and you are discussing being a partner with tech companies, and which of the company you are talking about this, you know it will be money, you will be interested. Because with his experience, there are 1 or 2 questions we ask, and it will be done. And when you want to invest, we won't do anything less than 100 million. You see it now. So when you talk to people who have ability to do 1 million and they are looking for the lowest package, it shows to you have not been able to explain the business better. So you need to understand the business that you are. That's why I say the U factor is actually the first thing when it comes to roadmap to what? To creating wealth. You yourself need to understand the business you are trying to preach to the people. If you don't understand the business, you are not going to be motivated. Even you are not going to invest anything reasonable. You'll be telling others that you will not invest. You see that now? So, the CEO of Airpeace, I don't even know, Oyema, said he sold the landed property at this AIT site in the 90s. And after that, the family came together and said they have actually expanse of landed properties. If you could help them sell.
Sorry, let me keep you something. I think I read this. They said where he stays in Moshi, those area boys, they were like, though he was a street boy too.
Yes.
So they were like connecting him. Okay, we have plenty land at Ambado. Come and join us. That was how he, just go casually, and he was able to connect somebody. So in the process of connecting people, so they were able to give him mass land.
Yeah, that was the beginning of it, because he wasn't into selling of properties. Because he normally do all those area boys well. So when the mother said that person was one that took him to the family. Now from Mushin to Yati said that our family want to sell land. At least I've always known you to a person. That was when they connected it. So after selling just I think one plot or wherever it is, so they now had a meeting. Think family where they have some level of togetherness, and it's okay. You help us sell. So he asked them one question. What is his own gain for helping people to sell? He said, we don't want to reduce the money. This amount you are selling, whatever you put on top is your own, we don't care. But after sales, this is what you must bring to us. So the man went and took advantage of a Guardian newspaper. I mean, of us remember that Guardian Tuesday advert. Those who go on that bridge to go and look for art, and it was even on Tuesday. So that was what the man ran the art. Like play. The money was coming like rain. He was just selling. So it was, I think it was somebody that quickly told him that you are selling land. Won't you buy your own? Then he quickly also acquired some expanse of that land. I think he still has some of those land there till now. Anyway, for 6 months he was living in the airport hotel here. The first Monday young man told he didn't even reason well. So according to him, the wife-to-be came from the east to see him, and that one was expecting him to take care to his own house, only to surprise the entire port hotel. And he thought that okay, maybe he just for a night, maybe because she just came to Lagos. And got to the room only to find out almost everything about Oyema was inside that room. And then, hey, wait, don't tell me you are living there. He said, yeah, I've been living here for some months. He said the lady just broke down, was crying. Good lady, so people never learn. So we just prayed. And we just cried. What? You are wasting life. And of course, you don't surprise why he finally got married to the lady. And that was why he told on him that he's been living inside a hotel. He did not even remember because the money was just coming. And now went and rent his own house and all that. Of course, to cut the long story short, we know his name today in the country. And of course, from there, moved to other businesses then to airline business. It's his passion to make sure he has a lot of Nigerians working and reduce the unemployment rate in the country that made it to go into airline. And that's another story for another day for that, because there's something said on that I want us to learn from. So please, change your language in doing your marketing. And we're into some people will even say something. Someone might turn off for someone something. You have already killed the business. Know what you are doing, that your investment is with tech companies, and the company of today is actually what? Tupan Cargo what? Aircraft. It's a physical, it's not a joke. The job we're not in Dubai in December, those that were there, they took picture with it. It's very long. So now, we have never had this before. The drones that all of us were used to in this part of the world is those that are used for camera, like they used to cover events and all of that. But military makes use of drones in fighting. Alright? So like even this Ukraine and Russia going on, someone told me that the military make use of it so many times. They just design the drone, put all the bomb inside, and they remote it. So when you see it in your landscape, you want to shoot thinking that human beings inside. The only thing that will drop on your head is bomb. You see that now. So but this one now, we're going to be using this one for delivery. Delivery of goods. Now the concept is that it's faster, It's very fast, and also it's going to be cheaper because there's no need for the use of a pilot, and it can take off vertically and land what? Vertically. It doesn't need a runway to take off in the air. You see the advantages now. Now, this is the same thing that FedEx has been doing, DHL has been doing, but the difference is that, and of course for those who use normal the ship is slow. It's not too expensive, but it's slow. The plane is very fast, but very expensive. This one is also fast, but very cheap. So you can see there's a huge market waiting for us for this. So you investing into this now. What you are doing, you're actually buying the shares of this company, physical company, which you have no idea how it's going to grow. Because by the time something explodes, that is when a lot of people will be coming in. That's why you are coming late. That's why we've always said so many times. The secret to making millions in this business is what? Taking advantage in the whisper of what? Of opportunities. When you just get to hear, John, don't be too. Most of the time you ask too many questions. That's why you don't even take a step. Too many questions. Google Map. One of us here wrote something on Facebook, and I like it when I read it. It's not even here, Alessandro. That he was trying to leave the house in Lagos. He wanted to leave 2 hours to where he was going, considering the traffic and all of that. And Google has told him, oh, traffic, all of those things. But you see, he needed to leave the house to get better direction. Because no matter how sharp the Google GPS is, it will not show you a possible route to follow to where you are going if you don't step out from the house. Are we together? So it's when you move from the house truly, then it begins to tell you, oh, don't follow our way because there's traffic there. You can consider Maryland or maybe route and all of that. But once you are in the house, it will only show you maybe where the destination where you are going, and it will not make anything. So most of that, when it comes to your vision and all of that, the business, you must take steps. You must step out and take advantage of it. So please know the business we are into, so that study more of this. We have this thing that we put on the on my it's on a platform. Please study it. Posted it on the African platform yesterday. Read about the company. The Tupa Aircraft Company is an aeronautical enterprise with a specific objective to develop what? To manufacture and to commercialize what? Tupa what? This thing represents what? High-speed, vertical, and short takeoff and what? Landing. So you need to read this to be able to actually talk about this business. And we can't be reading all of them. Now listen, never be afraid. Sorry, we'll not go with this one. Never be afraid of risk. There's something I did this morning, I kept here, and I want all of you to see. How many of you can see the screen? Some of you must have seen this on the internet for some days now. If you think digital business is risky, investing in tech companies, the risk is too much. This is not tech company. This is not cryptocurrency. This is a physical business. This is somebody's farm. Imagine you have this farm. Then in the one fateful morning, you come to your poultry. You met all the birds dead. What risk could be more than this? Jim Rohn said everything is risky. He said, let me tell you the biggest risk. The awareness in your spirit that you are not living this world alive. He says even the biggest risk. As you don't look so beautiful now, and you use the best cream to take care of your skin, you just know one day you are not going to be here. Where you are going, you don't even know. Just to even know that you will die one day, the thought of that even is enough for you to say, I'm not even walking again. Let me just sit down. Then when death come. Pastor Martin told me something this morning. He was quoting a particular philosopher. He said, God gave you a job to keep you busy while you are waiting to die. Come on. You know, there are certain things you don't think of. I thought of life one day, thought of this death, thought of internet. Like, who is this God? Say, where did he come? How? Where are we even going? You know, some of this you think you just humble. This unnecessary anger you display against people, you just kill it. You just kill it. So, instead of being depressed, I now understood, okay, why are we even here? Okay, I'm here to contribute to the world. This world has been an evolving world. This marker somebody created it, this light somebody created it. So what am I also doing? So that the generations coming will also mention my name. So then, suddenly, the joy came to me again. Because someone almost led to depression. Like those Muslims, when you're born to when you go, it's like a waste of time. You understand what I'm saying that? So that means it's a privilege to be alive, to be put on this earth. He could have put us in the Jupiter or Mars, and you won't even survive 24 hours. But putting us here means that he has the what? An assignment for us. So what do you do? Get busy fulfilling that assignment for your life. Are we together? Get busy. Get giving the best. Contribute to the world that is evolving, and let the best come out of it. Very important. So this somebody's business died in one night. So don't be afraid of digital tech companies. Jump into it and run with it. Now you need to understand that each road is governed by a wealth equation and predisposed to a financial destination. Predisposed to a financial destination. For example, the just road leads to what? Poor living. That's why we tell you don't wait for your salary. Alright? Don't depend only on salary. Open up other avenues for creating wealth. Because the best the job can do, it will lead you to what? Poor living. Of course, the Ponzi scheme leads you to future uncertainty. And only the passive investment or building the business that will lead to what? Sustainable wealth. So when it comes to sustainable wealth, you need to invest in existing businesses or build your own business. Now, investing in an existing business and building your own business, the only problem with that is that it takes longer time to arrive where you are going. But the truth is that when you finally arrive, the remaining days of your life, you just be smiling. Why the other person that think he was smart by doing salary job and say he doesn't want anything to do with investment will still be eating that iroko tree trying to cut it down. And you know what? I've said this so many times. It's not the responsibility of your boss to make you wealthy. So don't think he will increase your salary just because he's making more profit. It's at his own, free mind to think whether he should increase your salary or not. So better be smart. Because some of you, the biggest mistake you have is forget. Now, my financial mentor, Dr. Lumide Emmanuel, told us something. He said there was a friend of his who was working in the bank. And he was always on these seminars teaching, training people like this on how to take advantage of their businesses and other sorts of income. He told, I forgot his name, whether his name is Ben, I can't remember. They are selling land now, far place in Lagos. Come and buy. Now, he doing all those transactions, he was always with this guy. You know there are people like that. They like to eat your money. They chop the money with you. They know the business you are doing, but they will never say, oh, show me this, let me put money. I get requests from my inbox almost every day for financial assistance. I reach out to someone I can reach out. Some of them that I know, they know what I'm doing. They will know the story next time. Because for me, I see that you are mocking me. Because you know what I'm doing, you will never be part of it. I will invite you, give me 1,001 reason why you cannot come to the meeting. You know, it gets me really mad when the poor man for me busy. You be poor, you be for me busy.
Yeah, the business.
And when you now have an issue of where less than 10,000, you are already enter. So will deceive you. So this guy refused to listen to him. And he told him, I said, but they can sack you in this bank that they've already closed. Is it Continental Bank? Is it Continental Bank? That was in Toy here. I think there was no Continental Bank. He said, they can sack you, say, he said, Bambe, because you use Yoruba for inspector. He said, now we the wrong Continental. Because it was working inside, part of the technical team. I don't know what position was doing. So he said, forget, we run that. They sacked me for waiting. That's the end of the bank. Literally one day, for us, during recession, bank went under. He was paying for heavy school. And he married one that is too expensive to manage. You know, there's some women that are not used to suffering. They raise their standards so high. They don't care whether you go and steal to bring the money to buy go straight. I've been a straight bone. They don't mind. In a matter of 6 months, why don't do visa to America, carry children, run liver? The man ran to his office. He was not even in the office. They have to call him because they know he's a friend. So he doesn't need any protocol to see. You know those kind of friendship now. Man of God, come on, your friend has been crying at the reception too. He was crying practically. His whole world just crashed in one day. Whole world just crashed in one day. The woman left home and said, me? Me like this. No problem has not been better thing. There was a woman, a white lady, who literally ran mad because the husband that married I think in America and everything just went flat for the husband. And with the Yoruba man, they couldn't do afford tissue. So Yoruba man would go in the restroom and use water to take care of himself. The white lady couldn't conceive that kind of practice. He just ran come attack. He won the pursue. So he just went mental. It was my manager that told me that story. She went mental overnight. She couldn't imagine that we went to the restroom that there's nothing to clean. You have to be looking for water. And Nigerian guy is used to that one not being it's normal for us. The one woman went gaga. So do everything to keep this poverty. Don't let him destroy your family. He can destroy any family. I'm telling the truth. The sweetest woman can just become like James Banana. You know, believe your heaven. Yeah. So don't let your family get to that. I think God beg you. Finally, let's write this one down. You write this one down. Don't come to my meeting without booking you. I think God beg you. Or your phone. I always tell you your phone is called smartphone because there's a note there where you can always write something. Because the other bottom in that, he said, those who think on paper think better. So no matter how brilliant you are, don't always put something on your head, you always forget them. Whichever financial roadmap you follow will predispose you to the destination inherent in the roadmap. Always understand that. That whichever financial roadmap you decide to follow will lead you to the destination inherent in that roadmap. So you cannot eat, drink garri, and expect to commit salad. It will not work. So don't argue some of these principles because that's what I find out most of the time we do. We argue them. We despise them and forget it. I know what to do. Whichever financial road you follow will lead you to the destination inherent in the roadmap. So if you are the kind of person saying, no, I'm fine with my job, but that's what I will keep doing, no problem. Or you want to be selling drugs and be doing legal activity, no problem. Always understand that in that your illegal practices, inherent in it, the consequences is waiting. Either in prison or you, whatever practice you are doing. If you do have to do the right one, then there is a what? The future is predictable. Many years ago, that was one of the things I used that I was living my life with. That the future can be predicted, failures can be predicted, success can be predicted. Let no man tell you otherwise anything different from that. You can predict your future. And that is why a person like my bishop said, thank God for the grace of God where we are. I'm not surprised we are here. I would have been surprised if we didn't get there. That is a man who saw his future before time and decided to go with the right vehicle that will lead to what? Success in ministry and life. And if I look at how his approach to life and business and ministry, it just makes me look as if I'm even playing. For example, a young man in his 20s going into ministry decided to read 39 biographies of other successful ministers, both those ones that were successful and those ones were not successful. So he now knew the bullet to dodge and the path to follow. So as far as he was concerned, when he was going into full-time ministry, he was 39 years already ahead of his peers in ministry. And today it shows. His ministry, I think, if I'm not mistaken, every Sunday, I don't think any church, there's any church around the world where they can't, the kind of crowd they can't every Sunday in that place. And if you want to look at the strength of the organization, you need to really know that it's not a joker. Alright? Okay, say that is church. What about the investing? He did the same thing. Starting Covenant University, he didn't just start like that. He went ahead and studied the other 9 top leading universities. It was from Bishop Repas started hearing Yale University, Cambridge, even though I know about Cambridge, but that Yale particular one, I didn't know that one. He'll be mentioning those total universities when he was talking to us. He studied them before they started and crafted, some statement when they started. I said, hey, watch out. This is the next Harvard, a new Harvard generation, the way we put it. And watch out for. And it's been the leading private university in this country for many years, almost from day one. Nobody has destroyed it. What about the second university? I'm telling you this is so that you approach your life with sense of mission. Because the reason you don't do well in network marketing, you don't approach it with sense of mission. After now, you check, do you even remember the things you were taught? Probably you don't even remember. Because it shows in your approach. Because I don't see you share it or talk about it on your social platform. You talk about that things, and yeah, that is your market. How do you now make the money? Now, years, about like 10 years to when, maybe less than 10 years to when Landmark University started, the same bishop led some lecturers and some researchers to Israel to go and understudy the agricultural excellence. Because Covenant University was going to be focusing what? On agriculture. Landmark University was going to be focusing on agriculture. So he went years before they even lay foundation there to go and understudy a nation that is in a desert that has done well, that's kind of be feeding all the nations around them. Alright? And learn agriculture. So, before Landmark got started, they already had the Landmark farm. Before they even laid foundation for Landmark, they now had the farm already. So you see, this is a pastor. He could decided to be praying. He didn't subject those things to prayers. So he would say, prayer is no substitute to what? To hard work. So please, take this thing very serious. There is no business you want to do when this factor is not there. I know my man, when I was living at Ajuwon, who almost went down because there's this swine flu that came. Where they were, oh, you are part of that. I forgot this is a farmer. Swine flu, that teacher, they all have farms, all of them. I forgot you're part of them, you are the best person to tell the story. When swine flu will come, a whole pig that is big like this, you will be praying they should carry. They'll be pricing for 40 naira. Because to bury the pig is a problem. Oh God. Because you don't have land to bury the pig. You know the smell of the pig with that kind of flesh. And it's no one. When you go start, you yourself will run from your poultry. So when you see a bucket to carry for 40 naira, all those people that know that bring themselves, now where's a bitch of trying anything? No carry no they go themselves. You'll be happy they carry from your hand. And it can happen in one day. All of them will just feel like that. Don't go. So now you're in this digital space, get to understand it. Next week I'll be showing different ways to make money from cryptocurrency, apart from what we are doing. I really want to see you make money in cryptocurrency this year. Alright? So we'll show you about 1, 2, 3, 4 ways of making money in cryptocurrency. So that while we are doing our marketing and meeting, at least there's other 2 ways you can also make money. So we'll be showing you. I really want to carry out quite a lot this year. Alright? So that while we are waiting for this one to mature, you can also take advantage. We might just create another WhatsApp platform for that, or we just maintain African platforms for people to be getting some good info. Are we together? So, thanks so much for your time. God bless you. And next week, please, let's make it on time. It's 24 past 12. 12. I tell you, we don't stay here more than 12:10. Okay, let's make it on time next week.